On the night of our second anniversary, I went to surprise him, but the moment the door opened, my breath stopped. He was nervously trying to hide something with a strange woman beside him. I had just stepped forward when someone whispered softly, "Wait, tonight isn't just about betrayal. A secret is about to be revealed too." My name is Ava Thompson, and the night of my second wedding anniversary was the night I stopped being just a wife and became a strategist. I had imagined that evening hundreds of times. Soft music, candlelight, maybe Daniel pretending to be surprised even though he always guessed my plans. 2 years of marriage, long enough to feel comfortable, short enough to still call it new. He had texted me that afternoon. Stuck at work. Late meeting. Don't wait up. Happy anniversary, babe. We'll celebrate later. I smiled when I read it. Then I decided I would surprise him instead. I picked up his favorite chocolate mousse cake, wore the red dress he once said made me look dangerously beautiful, and headed to his downtown office. It was nearly 9:30 p.m. The lobby lights were dim. I knew his access code. In the elevator, I caught my reflection in the mirror. My heart was racing with excitement. But the moment I opened his office door, my breath stopped. Daniel wasn't alone. A long-haired woman stood near his desk. Black silk blouse. Panic written across her face. Daniel turned so quickly he knocked over his chair. "Ava, what are you doing here?" There was no warmth in his voice. Only fear. Papers were scattered across his desk. A velvet box. Files half hidden in a drawer. He immediately stepped between me and the desk. I was just finishing some work. The woman grabbed her purse. "I should go." I stepped forward. "Stay. It's our anniversary. Maybe we can all celebrate the truth together." At that moment, someone gently touched my arm. I turned. The elderly security guard, Mr. Collins, stood near the doorway. He leaned closer and whispered, "Wait, tonight isn't just about betrayal. A secret is about to come out." I looked at Daniel. Sweat had formed on his forehead. "What secret?" I asked quietly. Daniel snapped, "Mr. Collins, you need to leave." But he didn't move. "This isn't the first woman he's brought here," Mr. Collins said calmly. Silence filled the room. The woman's face went pale. Something inside me didn't shatter. It turned cold. "How many?" I asked. Daniel stayed silent. The woman spoke first. "He told me he was separated." I let out a soft laugh. "Of course he did." Mr. Collins continued, "And there's something else. I saw paperwork tonight. An insurance policy. The beneficiary was changed." My heart pounded. Changed to who? Daniel's silence was the answer. I opened the drawer and pulled out the file. He tried to stop me, but it was too late. The policy was new. My name had been removed. I closed the folder slowly. "You were planning something," I said. "You're overreacting," he snapped. Mr. Collins added quietly, "He's been arguing on the phone for days. Talking about debt." Debt. Suddenly everything made sense. Our shared investment accounts had been transferred into his company's name last month. I had signed the documents trusting him. Now the insurance. A new beneficiary. Maybe even a staged accident. My hands were cold, but my voice stayed steady. "Daniel, you seem to forget that I work in corporate law." His eyes widened. "And I keep copies of everything." I pulled out my phone and opened my secure cloud folder. Then I called my attorney and put her on speaker. "Ava, is everything all right?" Looking straight at Daniel, I said, "I'd like to activate Section 9 of my prenup, effective immediately." Daniel shouted, "You can't do this here." I smiled slightly. "I already have." Within 15 minutes his phone started buzzing. Then again. His face drained of color. "What did you do?" he whispered. "Exactly what was necessary. I froze our joint accounts, filed an emergency motion, and initiated a forensic audit of your company." The woman left quietly without saying another word. Mr. Collins nodded at me and closed the door behind him. Daniel and I stood alone. "I would never hurt you," he said weakly. I shook my head. "You already did." I opened the cake box, took the plastic knife, cut the cake perfectly in half. 2 years, I said. Evenly divided. I walked toward the door. Behind me his voice broke. "Ava, please." I didn't stop. Because revenge isn't screaming. Revenge is silence. The kind that makes someone realize they've lost everything. By midnight, the legal filing was complete. By morning, his accounts were under investigation. And by the end of the week, control of his company would no longer be his. My name is Ava Thompson. And on my second anniversary, I didn't lose a husband. I reclaimed my life.